Okay, good morning. Miss Martin here coming at you from my YouTube channel. I know you can't see my face today, but hi, good morning. There I am wishing you a good morning. After looking at our work for the last couple of days, I realized there's a lot of confusions and questions about cells and cell organelles. And I thought it was important to take this time to go over this information with you. This is a topic that is needed for a foundation in biology. You'll be revisiting it again in 8th grade, but you'll also have biology again in 10th grade. And an understanding of the cells is going to be super important for your success in biology. So when we think of an organelle is a structure inside of a cell and it performs a certain function. So we're talking about structure and function. Organelle is the structure and what it does is the function. So let's look at the different organelles and what function they serve. So the first one is the cell membrane. And the cell membrane is nicknamed the gate of the cell. And when you think of what a gate does, if you have a gate around your house, it lets people in, but it can also keep people out. Maybe it lets your dog out into the yard, but keeps your dog from going into the street. So what a cell membrane does is it acts as that gate, controlling what moves in and out of the cell. So it's the gatekeeper. I like thinking of it that way. This is found in both plant and animal cells. The cell wall is only found in plant cells. This provides extra protection. So we can think of it like a brick wall. So you got the fence and then you got a brick wall too. So it's extra protection for the plant cell. And it's also what helps give the cell its shape. When you were looking at diagrams yesterday, you probably noticed the difference in shape between the plant and animal cell. And it's the cell wall that helps give it that defined shape. Cytoplasm is found in both plant and animal cells. I like to think of cytoplasm like Jell-O, because cytoplasm is the gel where all the organelles are kind of in. And this is where the movement takes place and the activities happen. So if you had a big bowl of Jell-O and you started sticking Cheerios inside, the bowl of Jell-O would be the cytoplasm and the little Cheerio pieces would be your organelles. The nucleus is found in both plant and animal cells. The nucleus is the boss. It's the big boss. It's the control center, just like our brain is our body's control center. This is what's going to control the activities and the functions that the cells perform. The mighty mitochondria. This always makes me think of Mighty Mouse, which you probably have no idea who Mighty Mouse is because that's probably from the 80s, but here to save the day, Mighty Mouse is on his way. That was the theme song. So I always think of that when I think of the mighty mitochondria. This is what supplies energy for the cell. It takes food that the cell eats and turns it into energy. If we're talking about a plant cell, that food is going to come from photosynthesis, so taking energy from sunlight to create making food from sunlight in the process of photosynthesis to create energy for the cell. We can also think of this like putting a battery in something. A battery helps power something up or give something energy. So the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. The endoplasmic reticulum. This caused some of us a little confusion yesterday, and I probably should have put it in the directions. ER is endoplasmic reticulum. It's an abbreviation for it. So both plant and animal cells do have an endoplasmic reticulum. It actually has two types, smooth and rough, but you don't have to worry about that this year. And these are the transporters. So I like to think of it as something being moved along a highway in a big truck, maybe food from Stop and Shop or your package from Amazon being delivered. So the endoplasmic reticulum are going to move things, throughout the cell. Ribosomes, both plant and animals have ribosomes. Ribosomes make proteins. Golgi bodies, which is often confused with endoplasmic reticulum, and I saw that confusion in some of your work the other day. The Golgi bodies prepare the proteins for specific jobs. Boy, I can't talk today. And packages products in the cell. So I like to think of Golgi bodies like a present. This says think of it like a post office where the packages are prepared. getting ready to leave the post office, and then the mail truck would be the ER delivering that mail to different places. So again, let's say you're sending a present, and Amazon delivers it. The present or the packaging would be the Golgi bodies, and Amazon truck delivering it to someone's house would be the endoplasmic reticulum. Vacuoles are found in both plant and animal cells. A few of you very impressively, and if it wasn't a public YouTube channel, I'd call out your names, but I don't want to put your name over the internet. But you know who you are. Thumbs up. Yay, there's my thumb trying to pop up. Oh, my big nail. So a lot of you recognize that plant cells have larger vacuoles, which kind of makes sense when you look at what a vacuole is. It's a fluid-filled area. It's storage for water, food, and chemicals. So it makes sense that plants would need more water so that their vacuole would be bigger. The nickname is the storage tank. You can think of it like a tank or a treasure chest or a toy chest. Chloroplasts, only found in plant cells. Chloroplasts are what make food from the plant. So it's when it takes energy from the sunlight and turns it into food. That's the process of photosynthesis. We call it the food producer. We can think of it as the chef. Chlorophyll is what gives the plants the green color. So it kind of makes sense now, that connection. Nuclear membrane is like a cell membrane in terms of the job it performs. Think about what a cell membrane does. It controls what moves in and out of the cell. It's the gate of the cell. Well, a nuclear membrane is going to control what moves in and out of the nucleus. So it's the gatekeeper of the nucleus. And this one I forgot to include, and I mentioned this to pretty much everyone as you were turning in your work, the lysosome. This is both in plant and animal cells as well. The lysosome is the organelle that cleans the cell, and this is very appropriate, right? Thinking of it like Lysol, cleaning the cell, cleaning the surfaces. This slideshow, and I pretty much sent this to everyone who turned in their work, should be held on to for reference. Like I said, you're going to revisit this topic in 8th grade, 10th grade, and if you do anything in the medical sciences in the future, if you're planning on being a nurse, an army medic, a doctor, a veterinarian, knowing the organelles and their functions are always going to be the basic foundation of biology. So print it out, keep it somewhere, and then you can always put it in the front of your science binders when you get to these topics. What I want to do is now look at those plant and animal diagrams. There we go. Because when we were comparing them, we got confused. So here is a cross section of a plant cell, okay? Again, a cell wall is only found in a plant cell. It's an extra layer of protection for the plant cell, and it gives the plant cell its shape. Then you have that blue line going around. Whoop. That is your cell membrane. Both plant and animal cells have them. It's the gate of the cell controlling what goes in and out of the cell. There's our nucleus, and you can see that it's near the center of the cell. There's our control center. There's also something called the nucleolus, which we didn't learn about. Here's our vacuole. Again, you're going to see a vacuole in an animal cell too, but this vacuole is going to be much larger. Makes sense, it's a plant cell, it needs more water. The cytoplasm is this whole area where all the organelles are stuck. So the vacuole, the nucleus, the ER, the lysosomes are all stuck in that cytoplasm. That is that gel-like material, that jello, and both plant and animals have it. There is our lysosome, which cleans the cell. Here is our ER, our endoplasmic reticulum, and you can see both kinds, rough and smooth. Our ribosomes, which make proteins. Golgi body, which packages material in the cell. Remember, then the ER transmits it or moves it throughout the cell. The nuclear membrane is that boundary around the nucleus, controlling what goes in and out. And there's our mitochondria, mighty mitochondria, that provides energy for the cell. And we can see the chloroplasts here. okay, which make food for the cell using energy from the sunlight. If we were in class, you would get a blank piece of paper and you'd be drawing these. I'd be yelling them out. Draw the cell wall, draw the cell membrane. We did it last year. It was kind of a fun activity to do. You might even want to quiz yourself and make a list of all the cell organelles and see if you can draw them. It'd kind of be cool to see if you could do it. So I'm going to scroll down so now we can compare it to the animal cell. Different shape. Notice no cell wall. It does not have that extra layer of protection. It does have the cell membrane controlling what moves in and out of the cell, but no cell wall. It has the cytoplasm, that gel-like substance where all the organelles are stuck inside, performing their activities. It has the nucleus, the control center, near the center of the cell. It's got the nuclear membrane surrounding the nucleus, acting like the gate of the nucleus, controlling what moves in and out. There's our mighty mitochondria, boop, providing energy for the cell. Now it's not using photosynthesis, but it's still providing energy. Where are our ribosomes? There's our ribosomes right here. Okay, your ribosomes are the proteins. Here's my lysosome cleaning the cell. There's my rough and smooth ER or endoplasmic reticulum, which is going to transport materials that are packaged by your Golgi bodies. And look at the vacuole. Look at the vacuole here compared to the size of the vacuole there. Wow, huge difference, but it still has the vacuole. So if I look, the only things missing from an animal cell that a plant cell has is the cell wall and the chloroplast. Plant cells have everything an animal cell has, plus those two additional organelles, chloroplasts and cell walls. So if we did a Venn diagram and compared these, every organelle that a plant cell has, every organelle that an animal cell has would also be on the plant cell side. So that would all go in the middle because they share them. So the middle would be filled with all of the organelles, the cell membrane, the lysosome, the nucleus, the nuclear membrane, the vacuole, the mitochondria, the ribosomes, the Golgi body, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the cytoplasm. And then on the plant cell side, you would have two additional ones that we don't see in the animal cell: chloroplast and cell wall. So remember, every organelle performs a function. An organelle is a structure inside the cell performing a certain function, a certain job. There are other organelles that we didn't discuss here. These are the main organelles carrying out the main functions in cells. There are unicellular living organisms, which means they're only one-celled, like bacteria. And then you have more complex organisms, like the human body has trillions of cells, all performing jobs. So kind of cool to think about. So take your time, go over this video, keep this video for reference, keep the slideshow for reference. It will be helpful in the future. I've also included a Quizlet today where you could quiz yourself on the organelles and the functions using the flashcards. You can play some of the games. You can even challenge a friend to Quizlet live. So enjoy, keep reviewing. Remember that next week, even though the assignments aren't being graded, I am going to put information up there, activities up there that you might find enjoyable. I'm going to have 2 engineering and design activities. And I will probably also have a little goodbye message to you. So make sure you still log on next week and check out what I have going on. I think you'll enjoy the activities. Monday will just be a makeup day, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll have fun activities for you to do and my little goodbye video. But let's not think about goodbye yet. So keep learning. Have a great day.